And we are live. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 50th episode of Theories and Thoughts podcast with your hostess, Arnya and
Fancy.
I look like okay. You know, I always have to play with this camera. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So, Fancy, how are you feeling?
Weak, but I'm here. I'm alive, and I'm grateful. And also, just noting, we just got our last 2 acts confirmed for our issue release party, so I am really excited about that. They kind of gave me a little boost of energy right there. So our issue release party, y'all, is going to be October 23rd, and we'll be making more announcements like in the morning.
Yes, because baby, it's a party 10-year anniversary, so y'all be there. Stay tuned for that.
Yep.
So I am wearing my I voted sticker today because today was the first day of early voting here in Texas. You can vote in at any precinct as long as it is in the county that you live in. So I live in Collin County. So I voted at where I always vote at, the library up the street. Some people say it took an hour. Some people say it took an hour and a half. For me, it took me 23 minutes. I actually went on my Snapchat. And I took a video and I put the time there. And then when I was leaving out, I did it again. That's how I know.
I've been trying to better understand the early voting process here because I know, like, really, I was looking at mail-in ballots, and then they were like, you have to, really have a condition or be elderly. And even the elderly still have to come out. So it's been kind of confusing. But I do know that today was the last day to register to vote online in Louisiana. So when I was on the site today, because I was checking for my son and myself, I knew I was registered, but I needed to change since I changed my address since I've moved. And with my son, although he had received the card, when I went in, I noticed that it was like he wasn't registered. So we got that done. I'm just praying that goes through for the both of us without there being any issues like with the mail. And I know we're last minute, but I had to first go get some other stuff straightened out before I could even get that far. But I'm excited because I'm like, I did get it done. Any little thing that be like personal stuff like that, I always kind of, I don't know, falter with a little.
Well, also now that when you brought up that point there, the situation with online, not mail-in ballots. Hey, Sharona, here in Texas, you have to if you have a mail-in ballot, you have to surrender that ballot.
What do you mean?
So when you come in to vote, you have to bring them that ballot in order to vote in person.
Oh, so like, should you change your mind? You're saying
right. You can still vote. You can still vote there. You just have to you just have to surrender that ballot that you had, which makes sense. That way you don't waste time. That they know. Speaking of voting, how many people caught the VP debate the other day? Did you? I don't know. Did you tell me that you seen it or not?
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't finish it, but I did watch it. Look, I'll let you go first with your comments.
No, go ahead. I was just speaking to Shauna. Hey, Shauna.
I'm trying to see. That's what I was trying to do. See who's over here. Oh, hey, Shauna. Hey, Sharona.
We're using a new system, y'all, so we had to figure it out.
Hey, Deidre. So, what were your thoughts on it?
Okay, so I caught it a little later. I didn't catch it right when it started because at first I was like, I'm not watching that debate. I knew who I was voting for, and I was just like, I'm not watching it. But I did get to watch it, and the current VP, to me, he didn't answer any questions. It was like he was being so defensive because he didn't have an answer. Per se. Kamala, I love the meme that have all her different faces. And she even inspired a new shirt in the boutique. It's called I'm Speaking. I'm speaking. Because how many times did she have to say I'm speaking? I felt that he was so disrespectful to go over the time. He acts just like the current person that's in the White House. We're not biased by any means. Y'all vote who y'all want to vote for, but I'm gonna tell you, y'all know who I vote for. It wasn't him. Because I just feel like they can do whatever, and people are just gonna do, play to their rules and play to the things that they're doing. I felt like he felt that he can say and do whatever he wanted, and Kamala was gonna have to just bow down, and she didn't.
I think it's funny because you sound like me this evening. Like normally before a few months ago, you would not have sounded this way. But
you're rubbing off on me.
But I watched more so, like I watched the beginning half. And I got up to maybe on question 4. Especially I was looking at when they asked about should something occur with the president, depending on who wins. Then did you see that part? Because that's kind of about where I left off at. Had anyone discussed with the presidential candidates what would happen should they fall ill or possibly pass because of their ages and their health concerns and so on. Yeah. And no one had any answers for that. But honestly, look, I made some little points of the things that I noticed, that I learned, because I thought watching this debate was kind of interesting. As far as being a public speaker. Look, somebody say, "Oh, Mariah."
Hey, Mariah. She said happy birthday to you too.
Oh, thank you, Mariah. So, let me see. Okay, for one, when you were saying that about her and the faces, it really seemed like she wanted to say the N-word so bad at one point. Like her mouth was it was gonna be drug out when she said it or something.
Right.
Yeah. And then also I learned how to, or it made me kind of recall the importance of always circling back to your point. Because that's basically all they did. It'd be the sky was falling in Kansas, and then but Biden is a great dad, and it's just always that. But at the same time, I really just like watching her poise and so on, and just getting little tips and pointers like that. But other than that, I'm not gonna just act like I just learned a lot in particular, because to be honest, I don't think either of them really answered any of the questions. It was very, no, not the part I watched. It was more so, which I agree with everything that she said. And also when she said that about if Trump tell us to take the vaccine that she's not going to take it. Yeah. But I don't really feel like they answered any questions though. I ain't gonna lie.
I would say that she did on the parts that I listened to. That I watched, she did. Can we discuss this really, really, really quick? The angry Black woman. I feel that she poised herself, that she did great. And even when he was over talking her, when he was butting in, when she was saying different things, I feel like she did great, because if she wouldn't have, it would have been she's the angry Black woman. She look at this monster, this and that. And oh boy, still called her a monster. And I was like, where? I feel like she handled herself so great, and she discussed it accordingly. And I just feel like she did awesome.
Well, I think she did great, but I don't feel like they really answered all the questions. And I just say that again because I just kind of feel like some people might be like, oh, but I'm not trying to knock them or the party or anything like that. I just don't. I feel like there was still so much defensiveness that we didn't often get to the actual meat and potatoes of strategy and so on, or how this is going to be done. I know they were talking about the tax ordeal, but there was still kind of a lot of bickering back and forth. Pence definitely kept trying to go back to his little whatever he was talking about. It was he just kept going back to the same old subject for quite some time, the borders, I think. So yeah, but it was interesting, and the fly was funny.
So yeah. So the question that they asked that I feel that Pence couldn't answer and didn't want to answer, pretty much old boy that's there now said that I really believe that.
You sound really warped to me. Do you hear
Really?
it?
No, I don't hear it. And
Okay, I might have to put my earphones
a
on.
little bit too. Hey, y'all, we're using a new system tonight. We're trying it out. We're trying a new system. Do I sound funny to y'all? Let us know in the comments.
Please.
Political. She got her message across. Yes, she did, Deidre. Yes, she did. They pretty much asked the question if Sharona said it sounds fine, so maybe it's just yours.
It must be. And even with my earphones on, because he gave a little tip about putting on earphones if you say something else.
Something else. Oh, where'd she go? Y'all, we're using a new system today. I don't know where she went. But on with the show. She said when they asked about, the comment that the old boy that's in the White House said about leaving, will we be able to get him out of there? That kind of, it was, Sharona, don't do me. Don't do me. Anyway, that right there kind of threw me how Pence answered that. I was just like, really, sir? Like, old boy is saying basically that he will not come out of the White House. They're going to have to remove him from the White House, if anything. So I'm asking her where she is. So I felt the debate was great. Again, there was a lot of comic reliefs there. They had a lot of comedy going on, and at the same time, a lot of things I felt like Kamala. I always say her name wrong. I felt like Kamala actually answered the questions, and Pence was skating around it, trying to do or say whatever he felt we wanted to hear, or that the people that's backing him wanted to hear. She is trying to get back in. So we decided to try a new streaming service because we was having so many issues with the other one. So now, before it was Be Live, now it's StreamYard. And it seems like she is coming back now.
And I'm still hearing that, so I'm wondering if I'm going to lose you soon. But
I can see and hear you now. What? Say something.
I don't know. Can you still hear me? Am I still on?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you can continue. And I see our guest is also on the back end too, just letting you know.
Okay. Oh, you wasn't gonna rush me like you normally. Y'all, Fancy don't like people to wait. So I'm gonna do this one last one, and then we're gonna do our sponsor, and then we'll bring Franklin on. So the next thing is Greenwood Bank. Greenwood Bank is a new Black bank that is solely online. I actually signed up, and I was I meant to look this up before we came on. Killer Mike is one of the people who was a part of the bank. I am number 15,356. That's my spot. So once you go on there and you get up space, it'll look like this. And then they'll tell you which number you are. Can you see it?
Oh, that's cool.
It'll tell you what number you are, and it says, want to be first in line, help us build a bigger community. So if you invite your friends and different things, it'll scoot you up a little bit more. But I don't be liking people in my business, and I don't like when people send me stuff from things that they're doing, so I don't invite people. So I guess I'm gonna just stick in line that long. And that was done 4 days ago when I actually did that. So check out Greenwood Bank. It's solely online. In this new age, a lot of brick and mortar banks are going away, and people are going to be conducting business solely online anyway. So there you have it.
Cool. If you all can hear me, I actually learned about this late. I just learned about it today, so I didn't know as much about the bank. And as I was researching it, you did send it to me. I just saying I learned about it late because I didn't know why you sent it to me. But I wanted to quote Killer Mike, and his quote was, "Today, a dollar circulates for 20 days in a white community, but only 6 hours in a black community. Moreover, a black person is twice as likely as a white person to be denied a mortgage. This lack of fairness in the financial system is why we created Greenwood." I just thought, before, I think people used to say it was 4 hours that the dollar lasted in the black community. So I'm like, that's like 2 hours more that we've kind of grown into. It's not a big difference, but I just thought it was worth mentioning because, like, hey, it's starting to expand, starting to be in the black community, circulate within the black community a little bit longer. And I figured that might be people purchasing with black businesses, the reason why we're getting those 2 extra little hours there. I just wanted to note that. I thought that was cool. But I love the bank idea as well.
Yes. So, Fancy, will you be telling us about our first sponsor?
Yeah, so our first sponsor of the evening is Demand the Dream. Demand the Dream let me get him up on the screen though. And if I can get it. Where I can't get this to show.
It's showing.
Is it? Oh, it's not showing on my end. Okay.
That's okay. We'll work with the kinks.
All right. So Demand the Dream teaches and consults based on 4 tenets of personal, academic, and professional expertise: faith, biology, psychology, and business management. It's time to integrate further. In 2020, they're introducing their 5th tenet, data privacy. So you all can learn more about them at demandthedream.com. That's DEMANDTHEDREAM.com. As well as you can follow them on Instagram at demandthedream, all one word. Yeah. So thanks to those guys for being a sponsor.
Alrighty, will you be bringing in our next guest? Hey, handsome.
Hey, what's going on?
Something's going on with her computer and her Wi-Fi, so she kind of scooted off.
Okay.
But
I'm actually connecting my phone so my friends can watch us live. Hold on.
Okay.
How are you?
I am great. Sharona said, "Hey, Frank."
Hey, Sharona. Sharona and I go back to summer school.
Really?
Because we fail PE.
I'm not playing with y'all. You know what? She told me that. So just a little background information, just really quick, and then I'm gonna have Berkley introduce himself. But we went to high school together. And this is my friend. We were in choir together. Don't ask me to sing because he is great at his music, and we'll get into that a little bit. I just dip and dabble, and I just sung in the choir. But he
dabble. Dip and dabbling.
So, Berkley, the artist, I am so excited that you're here with us tonight.
I'm so happy you invited me. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So, introduce yourself. Tell my audience all about you.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I've been enjoying the conversation.
Thank you.
Some very exciting points of view. Some of them I'm like, okay. And some of them I'm like, I don't know. But I'm always happy to listen to Black women speak because you all are the pulse of the earth. And so it's just important to hear where you are and to sometimes just be quiet about it, But I'm a singer-songwriter, author, And you got my shirt on.
Yes, I have your shirt on also. I meant to say that. Yes, of course. If you was coming on, I was representing all the way, honey. I was representing the whole way. Book, boo, and the shirt. Come on now.
Thank you. Yeah, that's.
You playing the music on Spotify. Come on now.
I appreciate you.
You're on our playlist, on our TNT playlist on Spotify. I got you.
Talking about.
Listen.
So yeah, I'm just a guy out here that is doing my part. What's up, Fancy? Happy belated birthday.
I don't know where she went, but
yeah,
you made you big and us small.
That's all right though. Happy belated birthday. And by the way, I've been watching the show, so even though there may be technical difficulty on your end, it's fine. Like watching it doesn't seem like it.
Thanks. Look, okay, I don't even know if I can be heard.
Yeah, well, we can hear you. Everything is
okay.
Everything is normal.
Okay, so we brought you on, first of all, because you're incredible. Second of all, we wanted to talk about,
You're so kind to me.
Hey, I boost my friends. We wanted to talk about how I got over the red sofa. I put in my caption that this is personal because I actually watched you walk through it.
Yeah.
I actually watched your videos. I was telling fans, because we prayed for you. Like, we took a moment of silence because I was like, my friends are going through it. Let's take a moment of silence for this. The times that you couldn't even say nothing. You just barely did a picture. I remember that. I remember even after everything was going on, you started putting your snippets on Facebook and reading that and understanding where you were and the things that was going on at that time. So tell us from the beginning a little bit, COVID-19, because it was you got COVID at the time that they were saying Black people couldn't get it.
I'm laughing because that was a real thing. And I want to be clear about the they that was saying Black people couldn't get it. What was us? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on the news like, no, we can't get it. It was like, no, we can't get that. We got dark skin. And I'm like, yo, I have it.
Right.
And my skin is dark. So I definitely got it in the beginning where it was so many myths about it. It was so new. It was so fresh. None of us knew what was happening from the government. Well, I think the government knew, but the population didn't know what was going on. And a lot of people in the medical community had no idea what was going on because it was so fresh. I was in that first batch. You make your first batch of cookies and the first ones get messed up. I was one of the messed up cookies. Okay. But by the time the months had gone on, weeks really, we started identifying, okay, this is airborne. We started identifying some of the characteristics who was more susceptible, which then threw a loop in the plan too, because I was not in the age range that they were saying you were more susceptible. And, I'm an avid, healthy person. I'm pretty healthy, right? Like, I work out. I try not to eat horribly. I'm pretty active. So it hit me out of the blue and I didn't meet any of the criteria for what it was supposed to do. So that was strange. And my sister initially approached me because I had been sick for a while before I started talking about it. And my sister was like, I think you need to go online and do a video about you being ill. You need to let people know this is happening. Like, people don't believe it's happening. And I was really nervous about that because I wanted to keep that part of my life personal, like I didn't want people to be afraid of me. I didn't know if it was going to affect my job. I didn't know how people were going to view me as a result of it. And between my mother and my aunt, and then my really great friend, Dr. Tanisha, she hit me up and she's like, you need to write an article or a book about this. And so I finally took the hint, and honestly, I felt overwhelmed by writing a book. So I thought, well, what can I do? And I was able to write a journal entry on Facebook about my experiences that I was pouring out from my own journal. And that turned into a book. So I like to say that because sometimes, you may have things you really want to achieve. You may want to do an album. You may want to do a book. You may want to teach a class. You may want to start a business. And you're like, I can't do it. It's insurmountable. I have too much to do. Well, I think the question is, what can you do? You want to have a restaurant. You have a kitchen in your house. Get some styrofoam plates. Start.
I tell people that all the time. I say, look, you have to start somewhere. Start selling plates out your kitchen. Then have dinner parties. Then, So that's true. That's true. So in the book, you place pictures. And even when you was doing the journal entries, you place pictures. How did you decide? Because, see, this guy right here, I know him. I know him. I know him. That's my friend.
I'm so glad you asked me that. Thank you for asking me that.
Different pictures.
I purposely picked certain pictures. So thank you for asking me that. That was in Thailand. Yeah. I picked pictures that people had not really seen of me, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I picked pictures that I didn't even really like of myself.
Really?
Yeah, because it's funny because, I'm an entertainer. I'm used to putting out material that I feel looks good or sounds good. And then there's all of this stuff that nobody sees, like all of the unedited stuff that you don't want to put out. Because like, oh, I look fat right there, or oh, my scars right there, or oh, my tooth is messed up right there, or I don't like that angle, whatever, all of that. So I basically went through this experience and started picking pictures that I didn't really like of myself and finding something beautiful in it. Like, for instance, that picture from high school, it's really hard for me to look at that picture.
Really?
I don't like what I see.
Gotcha.
I see so much anger and sadness in that picture.
Wow.
Yeah. So even talking about it, I feel weird. Like some people say that they would want to go back in time to like childhood. I do not. I would never want to go back to my childhood.
I feel like I'm one of those people that I wouldn't want to go back because everything that has happened has created this phenomenal woman, honey. That people listen, okay. And I just feel like the woman that I am was created because of those things. And I can relate because although people see a secure woman, sometimes I'm not so secure. Definitely. And, in my 20s, everybody's like, you have always been secure. Even in high school, people are like, you've always just owned it. Yeah. But I just went with it. It was like something within me, if that makes sense, said that I could not just sit on my laurels, but I had to keep going, although it was uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Because I don't feel like I'm the best singer, but everybody from high school remember me from singing all the time.
All the time. In the hallway, outside Miss Downs' classroom, in the cafeteria,
everywhere,
stairwell, everywhere.
Didn't care.
And was always positive and uplifting.
Thank you.
But I definitely understand that because that picture, man, I knew who I was, but I didn't know how to get to it.
Right.
I just didn't want to get to it. So when I look at that picture, I can see in my face. And it's funny, I thought about that today, ironically. I remember my mom and my dad and some other people telling me when I was a kid, you need to smile more, smile more, smile more. And I would take pictures like,
right.
Smile, smile. I was fighting so many things, you know, internally that were happening externally as well. So when I look at that picture, and I put that picture up because I think that that's one of the hardest chapters I wrote. I don't know the title of that chapter.
This is the picture we're talking about.
That picture, what's the title of that chapter?
The title of that chapter is, let's see, A Golden Demeanor. Is the chapter after the picture?
That's a hard chapter. I actually talk about a lot of the things that happened in high school, right in that chapter, at the top of it. That was a hard chapter to write. I couldn't believe that I was actually posting what I really felt. I was so afraid to expose so much vulnerability. And so that picture is a result of,
wow.
I'm grateful that you asked.
The innocence of it though. We were so innocent in high school.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
So tell me this. So I know you was dealing with COVID, but at the same time, it got a little scary. It got scary. I remember when you talked about at the height of it, being on the bathroom floor and the meeting of the demons. So can you kind of tell us a little bit without telling them, because I want y'all to go buy my friend book.
Yeah, please buy it.
I go buy his book. So tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, the bathroom floor, there was that scenario, and then there's this dream sequence demon. Right,
that's what I meant. I was talking about the bathroom floor, but I meant the dream sequence.
Well, okay, I'll tell you. This is really, I'm glad that this happened because I feel like I just unlocked something else. The night before I had that dream sequence, a friend of mine texted me to check on me. She was in New York. And she's like, I'm just checking on you. And I was like, yo, I am so over this, yo. Like, this is really a lot. And she's like, I said, Laura, what you doing? I text that or something. And she was like, well, did you ask him what's happening to you? Like, what? Wow. Did you ask him what's happening? Did you ask him, what are you doing to me? What is happening? And that was not anything I had asked because I was busy asking for ooh, help me get better, save me, but I wasn't asking what are you doing to me? So I said, you know what? Okay. And I was so sick that night. And I prayed before I went to sleep. I'm like, tell me what is going on. What do you want me to know? I fell asleep. And the first part of that dream, when I saw these hands, I saw hands come out of the sky, hands, like a man's hands. And they came down and they had a little capsule, like a seed in it. And then I heard this voice say, so you're starting to feel better, huh? It was like, it wasn't a scary voice. It was like, so you think you're feeling better, huh? And I think I responded yeah, I was kind of engaging. And then it said, let's try this demon on you. And then the capsule went through my floor, the carpet, into the ground. There was a little mound, and it planted this little capsule. And above the capsule, where it was gonna grow from, there was a word that appeared, like a text box. How when you're typing a text box over something, a word appeared, and it was this name that I didn't know. I didn't even know it was a name. And it was, so I woke up and I was freaked out. because it was so real. And I was just kind of like, first of all, I was already sick and weak, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So then that traumatic, out of this world, Lovecraft County type moment happened. And I was like, what is happening? I just woke up praying. Like I was like, in the name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus, in the name. Like in my dream, I was praying. And then when I woke up, it was just coming out of my mouth. But when I woke up, I was sweating and I was weird. I was afraid to go and look up that name. And the reason why I was afraid to look up the name is because I knew that that name was something, but I didn't know what it was. So It took me the whole entire day. And by the end of the evening, I typed in the name. And when I typed in the name, it came up as a real name of a demon. I had never heard of this in my life. And this particular demon's job was the demon of doom. It created a sense of doom, not just death, but doom, like creating this constant fear that something dreadful and a horrible situation, disastrous, is going to happen. So I was bugged out at this point because I had never even heard of this name, and it just appeared in my dream. But I remembered I prayed and asked what was happening to me. And then I went to sleep again, and I had another dream. And this time I met the devil.
Oh, wow.
In my dream. But not only did I meet the devil, I met myself, which was the best part of that dream.
Oh, wow.
I saw myself. I had never seen myself. Like, not this.
Right.
I saw what I am. I can't really explain it. It's like, imagine this being, imagine your real self lives in another universe. And what we see right now is just the avatar. I saw my real self. And it was the most mystical, beautiful, powerful thing I've ever seen. So much so that in that dream, when I only saw a glimpse. I didn't even see the whole me. I just saw when I saw this being, the words that came out of my mouth were, first I gasped, and then I said, is that me? And I heard a voice, God, say, yeah, that's you.
Wow.
And that moment has changed my life, because when I woke up from that, I didn't see that little boy that picture is showing you. I saw the powerful being, entity, divine, warrior, golden. I saw what I really am. And it's changed the trajectory of my life, because I know who I am now. I don't need anything outside of me to tell me or remind me of what I am. I saw it.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Hello, somebody.
Right.
So with that experience, because I just remember reading it and just was taken aback by that whole thing. And the pureness of it, especially with what you just said, seeing yourself, because sometimes we don't want to see ourselves for who we are, because we don't want to clean up those messy areas.
But I want to speak to that, because I think that I'm not negating you.
No, go ahead.
I want to speak to that. I used to feel that way and think that way.
Okay.
But I no longer have any judgment to myself at all. Not even the judgment on, I need to clean myself up, because that itself is a judgment.
Oh, wow.
The we're only seeing that judgment through these eyes that are not even our real eyes. So I can't even like use that anymore because I saw myself. And you know what myself did when it saw me? It just reflected. It reflected itself to me. It did not hold me accountable to change anything. It actually was just beautiful. And it being so beautiful allowed me to operate in beauty. It didn't require me to do anything. It didn't require me to force me to look at something. I personally no longer subscribe to that kind of way of thinking because it is false. It's kind of like when I hear people talk about the concept of heaven, and they're like, when I get to heaven, I'ma just thank God about how I got over and everything I've been through. The whole point of heaven is to not remember any of that.
Right.
So, how can you spend time in a place that's perfection thinking about what went wrong and how you're grateful to get over it? Like, that doesn't even make sense. If you are there, your mind has changed. You no longer feel or see the horror that you've been through. So there's no need to think back like, you saved me from a horrible pit. I was so horrible. You're not going to be able to judge yourself. Because you only see the truth. Would you judge a baby? Do you judge a baby for the things that a baby does when they become older? No, you don't judge a baby because a baby didn't do it out of any negative spite. That you don't judge a baby. And I feel like when I saw myself as so much purity and beauty and love and amazingness that there was no room. There's literally no time, space, or room to look at it and say, I don't want to face myself. Hell no. When the truth shows up, you have no choice but to accept it. There is no holding back. When real gold walks into the room, everything that was brass saying that it was gold automatically looks like brass.
Come on, give us this whole complete word. Come on now.
You don't have to go around and say like, oh, this is brass and this is a better brass. No, when gold shows up, everything else appears to be what it is.
Bam.
You don't need to correct anything. You just exist. And so I think it's a human characteristic to be hateful to ourselves and to even judge an idea of what our greatness is. We can't even behold it because we're still full of ego.
Right.
When I was in that dream and I saw myself wasn't an ego. It didn't correct me. It really didn't say anything to me. It just it was like and I was like, dang, that's how it works. So that's my.
I mean, you just gave us a whole word. And it was true. It was true that we gotta stop judging our own selves in that manner because we are who we are supposed to be, whole and complete.
As we are. Like and that's hard for me because look. That has been a challenge for me, and it still is because I grew up in a system called America, called Blackness, called Christian, called Black Christian, called I grew up in all of these constructs that inadvertently tell you that how you are as you are is not complete.
Right. You're not right. You're not, and you have all these other things trying to tell you that you're wrong.
You gotta fix yourself. You gotta get better. You gotta that messaging begins at birth. You have to think better. You have to eat better. You have to dress better. You have to put away this. You have to. Well, what part of you is complete?
Right.
You mean to tell me I came here broken and messed up? Like that. That's a whole different thing. I no longer subscribe to that.
I like that. I no longer subscribe either because you just gave me a whole word. You just stopped me in my tracks and gave me a whole complete word that was full of so much knowledge and wisdom, and I appreciate you for that.
I'm humbled. I'm humbled, and I'm still figuring it out. And I'm supposed to still be figuring it out.
Sorry, my printer decided it wanted to.
No, you're good.
Start moving. I didn't even touch it.
That's the spirit.
Amen. So with everything that you encounter with COVID, and let's just say another level of life, what's next? I know you got some music coming out. You did release your book on Amazon. We will put the link in the thing for those who want to. And it's an easy read. It's not that many pages. It's like 50.
It's like 75. Yeah.
It's 75 pages, and some of them are pictures.
Right.
I'm not a reader, but I can read it.
Listen,
with dyslexia.
Right. I feel like that book is the kind of read that when you take a flight somewhere and you bring a book and you finish it before you get off the flight. Like,
yeah, I really honestly think that.
Yeah, and then you walk up the plane like, oh my God, what did I just? Well, speaking of that, I speak highly of the work because I believe that it is my fruit, and I believe that it will bloom forever and ever and ever. Like next, I'm beginning to write a screenplay. My sister's helping me with it because I am going to get this turned into a series that will be on HBO and that will be brought to Netflix. I will star as myself, and it will be epic and it will be done. And I am excited already and grateful for what's happening with that. I also am recording my new album. I've never told anybody the title for this album.
You gonna tell it to us?
I think I am.
Yeah. Okay.
This album, if all will go well. I'm correcting that as I speak. All will go well. Mm-hmm. I will release the full album in March, but I'm going to release I'm going to waterfall it. So I'm going to put something out within a month. Then I'm going to put out a Christmas record just for the holiday. And then in January, I'm going to put out another song. And then in March, I'll release the whole album.
Okay.
So, the name of the album is called The Frank Album. So it's like completely, that's the first time I say that out loud publicly. So I just felt that.
Exclusive.
It's an exclusive right here with my girl Arnya on Swag Her.
Yes.
Be ready to purchase the Frank album, and it will be the album that is talked about for decades and centuries, and it will be life-changing and emotionally freeing and feel-gooding, and babies are going to be born from it, and they're going to have good lives.
Yes.
So those are the next components. So, and let me put this out here, because I've learned to ask for what I need. I don't know what listeners or watchers you have out there, but if you are watching and you feel inspired by the things I'm saying, I need your help. One, I need you to tell your friends and your not so friends about this book. And then two, I got to get videos done for this album. I am an independent artist, and I need people that have powerful connections and that have lots of resources that want to invest in me. I need your help. So if you can help, I will make sure that your fruit comes back like orchards of fruit.
Come on now.
You can reach me at berkleytheartist@gmail.com or at berkleytheartist on Instagram, or you can go to my website, www.berkleytheartist.com, because I need your help human to human for us to create something. I got gold and I just need manufacturers.
Come on now.
I am willing to share the fruit. So help me out. Period. I learned that coming through this. Like, I'm asking for what I need.
Right, and we'll put that out there. Something that you didn't say, but I'm gonna go on and say it because you're too humble to say it. For your Grammy, for your consideration.
Yeah.
First of all, let me tell you how hype I was when I looked at that video. I was like, that's my thing about me, and y'all know this about my TAT audience, know I love my friends. Y'all know we always talk to Sharona. Sharona went to high school with me too. That's my friend. I do her marketing, her branding. I'm her brand manager, all that. If my friend is doing it, I'm trying to promote it. I'm trying to push it out there. I'm always doing that. So I've posted this video several times. But the name of it flees me right now. What's the name?
What the World Needs Now by Thangz and the Bangers.
What the World Needs Now. Y'all need to go check that out. All of the voices on there, it just goes.
Incredible.
It just go. And then at the end, that poetry.
What?
Baby, and that little girl just stole my heart.
All of the New Orleans, man, you know, can I talk briefly about that experience? Bianca, Pastor Bianca.
She went to high school with me too.
Yeah. Bianca came to my house on January 2nd of this year. And I hope she doesn't mind me saying this because it's true and I'm just speaking truth. Bianca like prophesied to me. She prophesied to me on that day. She was like, something is about to happen for you. Lord, oh my God. Thank you, God. She said 333 on the third day of the year, in the third month of the year, and in the third quarter of the year, monumental moments are gonna happen. So that was January 2nd. January 3rd, I'm at my house and I get a call from Thangz manager Tavia. And she says, hey, Berkley, Franklin, she called me Frank. Frank, look, would you come in the studio and sing this song with us? Thangz is getting some of her favorite New Orleans artists together to kind of just sing on this song. I was like, for sure. I love Thangz. I'm like, anything. It's done. It's done. I'm really thinking it's like a oohs and ahs kind of situation. I wasn't even thinking like I was going to sing on a verse or anything, or that it was even going to be filmed. I just felt excited to be involved in something that a friend of mine, Thangz, was doing. And I was grateful to make my city look good. So when I get there and I see like the best artists in this town, you know, Jelly, PJ Morton, David Shaw, Sam and Alexis. I'm looking at all of these, Joshua Kegler, Tracy Lee. I'm just like, whoa, I'm in the room with the best people, the bangers. I'm in the room with the best people that I personally know in real life. I've seen everybody's journey. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. It's not like, oh, I know you when you became. It's like, yo, we were in the trenches, everybody together at some point. So I was so happy to be there. And I did not know that when we were recording that on January 5th, we recorded on the 5th, I didn't know that I was going to have COVID in a few months, which happened to be the third month of the year. I didn't know that was going to lead me to write a book. I had no idea, which is Bianca prophesied. And then I had no idea that the book will come out on September 1st, which is the first day of the third quarter of the year. Neither did I know that the Grammy, for your consideration, I didn't even put any of this together. Everything that she prophesied to me, it has happened. And I am expecting even greater things.
Yes.
And that I will receive them in joy and in love and I will receive them. Like I will allow it to happen to me and for me. And I know that other people that are watching this and are watching just from the distance, I just want you to know like greater things are really going to happen for you. Hold on. I went through some of the scariest moments of my life. On the other side of it was this and whatever is to come. So that's how that story goes. I had no idea.
You're giving us so much word today. So much word. Thank you. Thank you.
Just living my life.
So
living my life like
Listen, I'm gonna be there to write the the biography.
Yes, you will. Yes,
Remember we talked about that.
Yes, you will.
So let the audience know, although it's scrolling at the bottom,
Yeah.
let us know how to find you.
I would love for you, if you're on Instagram, to go to my Instagram page right now, please, and follow me and say hello. Like, put a message up, comment on something. It's at Berkley. That's Berkley, Berkley, the artist. And I'm pretty much everywhere. I know a lot of people are friends with me on Facebook as Franklin Davis IV, but I'm asking you to also like my Berkley the Artist music page.
Oh, you do have one. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, in the entertainment industry, you guys, like, what they are looking at is numbers. They're always looking at numbers. So the more people I can get to comment, the more people I can get to like, that means the more opportunity I'll be able to share my music and message with the world. So if you can help me, I will really appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me on your show tonight. I really do appreciate you. You
are so welcome. I was like, I've been trying to get him on. Then I was like, I seen you had did the thing last week, and we were gonna try to get you in December, but then we had a cancellation, and we was like, well, we can get him on a little bit earlier than December, because when you had spoke, you was in the comments last week, and I was like, that's not good. I told you about him fans, and she was like, yeah. She was like, see if we can get him on. So I appreciate you for the words that you have given us today. You guys go copy his book, The Red Sofa, How I Got Over, about his COVID experience. Do you still have merch?
I don't have merch right now, but I can. So if you want something like Anya's shirt, I have a really great friend here in New Orleans, and she just does amazing merchandise. So I'll get it done for you. So,
I like this shirt because it shows off that you're such a rock star.
I love that shirt. I gotta find my shirt like that.
Like one of my
favorite shirt too. I just like it.
I just randomly wear it.
Can I say this? Can I just remind our people, Americans, go and vote. Go and vote. If you need, go vote early. Go and vote early. Anya is showing you that she's already voted. The voting polls in New Orleans open on Friday. I actually went to the voters registrar today just to double check that everything is right with my voting. So please go and vote. Your voice is very important. And I won't tell you who you should or should not vote for, but I will tell you this.
I told him who not to vote for. I'm sorry. You have to be politically correct.
No, listen, y'all know who I'm voting for. I mean, you know who I'm voting for. All right. All right. But this is what I'm saying. I know within our Black community, there are lots of different perspectives on the voting process and the way the government is set up. And you know what? Many of you are right. Things are really great in a lot of areas. But I want you to think of one thing. If your voting was not important, they would not be trying to keep you.
That part. Suppress you. Correct.
If actual voting was worthless, they would not try to keep you from voting. Pay attention to what they're trying to keep you away from. And that's the thing I need you to run to. So please go and vote.
That's another word. You're just dropping gems. We're going to have you come back on when the album drops something, honey, to give us some more of this wisdom, love. I'm just saying.
I love you so much. I appreciate you.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye, girl.
Okay. We're using a new platform, and Fancy couldn't really hear, so that's why she had to step away. However, here I am with our next sponsor, Nola Baby Body Butter. Nola Baby Body Butter is an all-natural, 100% unrefined mango butter, shea butter, and all-natural essential oils. Her website is NolaBabyBodyButter.com. She has recently, we had a launch on Saturday, recently launched the Crew. So the Crew, because I don't want to mess it up, I had to go to the website. Consists of Oooh Nah Nah fire water. I need some more. Now these are not the bottles that you get in, and this is what I got it in because I had to be a tester. So it's fire water. It is moisturized. This is for moisturizing daily spray. It's a moisturizing daily spray for scalp, locks, braids, and protective styles. I actually like it. I spray, as you can tell, I don't have that much left. I don't know if you can tell, but I spray it on my scalp every day. People who have locks, before you start manipulating your locks, as she has shown on her page, Nola Baby Body Butter on Instagram, you should spray your hair down before you start manipulating it. I've also used the Oil-eans. This is the oil. I guess I ain't shake it up very well because I got all this sediment at the bottom, and that's that good stuff, as Sharona tells me. That's the good stuff. I always oil my scalp as well, a lot of times. And this is the moisturizer. Let me tell y'all something. This is the Crescent City Creme. It's not, again, these are not the way y'all gonna get it. This is how I got it. But I like the consistency. It's very light and it smells good. And I actually put some of this on my hair just because my scalp gets really dry. So to keep my hair moisture in this protective style, I've been using all three products. You can find her again at www.nolababybodybutter.com. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram at Nola Baby Body Butter. So that is it for that. Don't forget the new normal issue, the 10-year anniversary and 30th issue of Swagger magazine is, I think you can still pre-sale. I'm not sure. If you can't pre-sale, just go ahead and buy it out. Fancy is actually on the cover. I actually interviewed Fancy for the cover. I'm like so excited about that. We have Naya Hill of Black and Blended. I actually did that interview also. She's featured on there. We have editorial photography by Smile for Meka. MUA, Lotus Love BR, graphics and design, Ricardo Santiago, marketing, Jarmel, Roberson, and sponsor, Box Office 7 Studios. That is it. As I was telling you guys earlier, I have the I'm Speaking shirt on sale now at Miss Thangz Boutique. Remember, Miss with a Z, Thangz with a Z as well. And that is it. Don't forget, you can always find me on Instagram at Ladi, spelled with the I.CEO. Also Facebook. Don't forget, also there's several great stories on the Swagher website. So that is swagher.net. I think that's it, you guys. Thank you guys for joining us tonight and have a good evening.